Morning everyone. Today for Technique Tuesday, I'm going to give a shout out to the Big Uglies, the offensive linemen, and this especially goes out to all the football coaches that are coaching these bright young men, often the most underappreciated yet important part of a well-oiled football machine. So the thing we're going to work on is your power step and the technique that I've seen enough players use that I wanted to make a video about it. So with an offensive lineman, you're trying to create inside leverage. We've talked before in previous videos about controlling your rotation, so I won't talk about that with this one. So instead, I want to talk about pass sets or just a power step, and then what I've heard is being done or coached by some of the kids that I've worked with. So instead what I want to talk about is the position of your hips and your knees when you are doing that power step. So from what I've heard is that they have you squeeze a ball between your legs to be able to work on creating that inside leverage in your hips and hold stable, especially when you're being engaged. And that is absolutely the wrong thing to do. Instead, what we actually want, even if you want to keep that inside leverage on your hips, it should be by activating your deep hip muscles in your buttocks, which will allow you to maintain that force as you step, no matter which way. What you end up doing is putting the knee at risk for meniscus injuries, ACLs, and on top of that, your leg can collapse a lot easier that way than it can this way. So rather, if you're concerned about which muscles you're turning on or your players are turning on, you can have them either you can tell them to create a little, like try to twist their feet in the ground. So as they're stepping, they're creating that tension outward. If you're still having trouble with that, instead what we can do is have them put a resistance band around their knees. So whether you're just coaching them or use some visual feedback for yourself, or you want to make sure the right muscles are turning on, what I'm going to do is having that band at my knees, now I have to hold that position. So now as I step one way, the other way, I'm having to hold that band apart and not let it collapse or pull me in. So whether that's forward, backwards, again keeping my post leg, and then obviously for the other side, switching there. So you can do any number of alignment changes. You can even add a second band around the ankles if you're trying to create even more awareness in their positioning. So now the one down there is going to put more stretch. It's going to be hard for me to pull apart. So now I can create even more tension here to really make sure that you're moving from the hips instead of moving with your groin muscles overly active. So it really only takes a moment, but will have a very big impact not only on injuries but also on performance, because now you're able to set your feet in the ground and lock out, get your arms straight, rather than here, even if you try to lock out, keeping that post foot, you're going to get twisted, and then somebody can out leverage you or make a move. You'll have a harder time reacting.